Who has ever caught the wind in his hands? Who has been able to look up to the sky and count the stars? Who has been able to use a piece of cloth to contain water fully? You ask me these questions, they seem they look funny, or you might even say foolish. But yes, they are questions that we should ponder about. Those questions help us to realize that everyone has limits. Man naturally is a limited being. But understanding our limits is not supposed to be a way of embarrassing us, but actually it's a sign of humility. It's just part of knowing who you are. As the great philosopher Socrates always says, man, know thyself. One of the aspects in which understanding our limits is very important is in our way to God. In our search for true happiness, our search for salvation, our pursuit of holiness, we realize that it's very difficult. In fact, there are so many things that we try to do by our own self, but they don't move, they don't work. Just like the rich young man who came to our master Jesus to ask him, what should he do to get into eternal life? Because he too realized that he has been trying by his own to obey the commandments, not to fornicate, not to commit adultery, not to steal, not to take someone's wife. They realized that something was still lacking. Yes, something is still lacking because we are limited. In our way to God, we need help, and we need the help from God. These our limits can only be surpassed if we look up to our Master and rely on His help. How do we rely on His help? Rely on His help by constantly meditating on His word, by constantly praying for His grace, because it is by grace that we are saved. We are not saved because of our abilities, of our intelligence. It's because of God's help. Because even the Bible tells us that most things are impossible. In fact, to get to heaven is impossible to man. To count the stars in the sky is an impossibility. To catch the wind is an impossibility. But with God, all things are possible. Inasmuch as you cannot catch the wind, you can let the wind to move you. As our master told Nicodemus, you can let the wind to move you. Letting the wind move you means you are allowing yourself to be carried by the Spirit of God. You are allowing God to direct every step of your life. And that is what it takes to follow Christ, is to put God first and let Him move you to your true happiness. God bless you.